Hi everyone. Today I will be doing the optional assignment. So, a couple things that I've learned recently in this past unit is supply and demand, the supply curve, the demand curve, equilibrium, surplus, shortage, price ceiling, price floor, consumer surplus, as well as producer surplus. So those are the 10 things that I will be talking about today. First, let's start with supply and demand. It is the basic model of how prices are determined in a market. Supply is how producers are willing to sell at different prices, and demand is how much consumers are willing to buy. Prices adjust based on the interaction between supply and demand. Next, let's break down the supply curve. The supply curve is a graph showing the quantity of goods producers are willing to sell at different prices. It usually slopes upwards, higher to higher prices, encouraging more production. A bakery makes more cookies when prices rise from $1 to $2. Next, the demand curve. It is a graph showing how much of a good consumers want to buy at different prices. Usually sloping downwards, people buy more when prices are lower. People buy more movie tickets when the prices drop from $15 to $10. Next, let's talk about the equilibrium. The equilibrium is the price at which quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. The graph where supply and demand curves intersect. So basically this little middle part of the X. The result of this is no surplus or no shortage, a stable market. Next is surplus. When quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded at a given price. The effect of this is unsold goods pile up, prices usually drop. Too many oranges at $5 per pound equals prices dropping to clear inventory. Next is shortage, when quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. The effect of this is not enough goods to meet demand. Price tends to rise. So, an instance of this would be a shortage in gas after a hurricane, which leads to long lines and higher prices. For instance, Guam after a typhoon. The longer the line, the more you pay for gas. That's why you always gas before a typhoon. Next is a price ceiling, which is a legal maximum price set below equilibrium. For instance, rent control. The effect of this can lead to shortages. Rent ceilings at $800 in a city where market rent is usually $1,200. Next would be a price floor, a legal minimum price set above equilibrium. An instance of this would be minimum wage. This can lead to a surplus. Minimum wage of $15 an hour when equilibrium is $12 an hour. That is an example. Consumer surplus is the difference between what consumers are willing to pay and what they actually pay. Graphically, this would be the area above price and below the demand curve. You're willing to pay $10 for a cup of matcha, but it only costs $4 to $6 for an entire can. That's what we call surplus. Next is producer surpluses. The difference between what producers are paid and the minimum they would accept. Graphically, this would be the area below price and above the supply curve. An example of this is a seller is happy to sell a chair for $30, but sells it for $60. That would be a $30 surplus. So that is everything that I've learned, including some examples, and that's all I have to say basically. Thank you for staying tuned and listening to my student textbook for Unit 2, and I hope you enjoy. Bye!